Hi everyone, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you for my kind of unique midweek report. This is going to be a little bit different. It's my last report before I go on vacation. So I've got a lot to talk about today. I have haul, I have my mini week in review, I have wine and whips that has wrapped up, I have my my whips for the week plus because I'm going to be gone for more than a week from you guys. I've got a preview and information about August ABCs for Stitch Mania, which starts this upcoming weekend, and my goals for videos and how they're going to work in August. I look like a hot mess today. It's the day before vacation. I've been scrambling. I'm stressed. It's, you know, the thing about vacations, it's great when it's just me and my husband, really relaxed. When you're packing the two kids and it's the first really big family vacation we have taken for any long period of time that isn't going off to visit family, it's a little bit stressful. But I've been looking forward to making this video all week because, you know, you're going to see just how crazy I am. I've got some packing to do of all of this cross-stitch stuff after I make this video so I can be all ready to go, and then the rest of my day is going to be spent finishing up packing and making sure we're all ready to go and getting everyone to sleep at a decent hour so we can be up early to go to the airport. Anyway, I'm rambling. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I did get some haul in yesterday. I ordered, this is proof that even the Stash Queen can be enabled. One of the members of Stitch Mania, and I apologize, I can't remember who at this point. I blame lack of sleep for stress for a holiday. Chose to do a chatelaine for their wine and whip project, and it was the Tuscany Town mandala. And anyone who's watched this channel knows that I'm a big fan of Italy, of Europe. I spent a semester 20 miles outside of Rome. I visited Florence both with school and on my own on a weekend with my husband. He's my boyfriend at the time, but my husband. When we went back to Europe before we had children, after we were married, we spent a couple of days in Florence. And I've been to Siena. I haven't been to Pisa yet. Want to still go there, but there's only so many. I've been to, in Tuscany, I've been to Florence, Venice, and Siena, which is why when I saw this mandala, I had to get it. It's the Tuscany Town mandala, and it's got Pisa and Florence and Siena and Venice all represented, and I just had to have it. I want to start. Like, so bad do I want to start, but chatelaines take time and money to kit up. And when I was looking at this pattern, when it came in yesterday, you know, it has the nice little list of all of the supplies that you need, which is overwhelming in and of itself when you count in all of the different specialty flosses beyond the DMC. This piece, over 3,000 beads in it. Over 3,000 beads. Most of them are delicas, but there's Swarovski crystals in there too. This piece had, I was looking up stuff yesterday because I was making a shopping list. I have two chatelaines I want to start next year. God, my hair looks crazy today. But I have two chatelaines that I want to start next year. So I was making shopping lists so I can slowly start the accumulation process, because even though I know there are kits out there that you can buy from some European countries, I think I prefer to kit it up myself because I can find deals for floss on eBay or in sales, or I can get more beads than what I actually need specifically for the pattern, which I appreciate because I have a really bad habit when I am beading of losing a bead or two or three or more. So I like having the extras in case I need them. Plus, you know, you never know when you're going to want to have beads for extra patterns anyway. But there are 24 karat coated beads, delicate beads. To kit up all of the beads for the two chatelaines that I want to start next year was almost $100 by itself. 4 beads. Nearly 6,000 beads between the two pieces. But just beads was nearly $100. from Fire Mountain Gems, which is where I usually buy my beads from for delicas and stuff. It's going to be a slow process to accumulate all of this stuff. That doesn't include the Gloriana and the water lilies and the silken threads and the silken colors. It's going to be slow, but as soon as this is kitted up, I don't care when it is. I don't care what other projects I've got going on. As soon as this one is kitted up, I am starting it. So yes, I'll have more than one chatelaine going at once. I have more than one Hade. Let's put one chatelaine. This other one I saw when I was getting the chatelaine. This was also at the same shop. This is Flowering Crown by Just Nan. I'm the Stash Queen, and sorry, there's a glare because I haven't opened the package, but it says in the bottom, the Queen's Needle never sleeps. And I thought that was just adorable. This is the second Just Nan pattern that I have gotten that relates to queens and stitching. I think this would be perfect as a little sign outside my door of my mom cave when it's all ready. And you know, Stash Queen, constantly stitching, it's incredibly appropriate. And looks, it comes with little beads that go with it too. So yes, that was my haul. Yay, haul! I fully expect when I get back from out of town to have some stuff waiting for me between fabrics of the month. I think my Under the Sea sale fabric is supposed to be coming soon. Yeah, I expect that there'll be quite a bit of haul when I come back from vacation. Plus, you know, you never know what I may pick up while I'm out of town. That's why I stopped the mail, because I don't want packages waiting while I'm gone. Yes, I know. I'm back to a can today. I'm out of bottles. It'll have to wait till next week. Sorry. It doesn't make me any less of a Texan. It makes me a more varied Texan. See? Texas! Anyway. So that was my haul. Next, I've got my mini week in review. If you recall, on Sunday, I showed the two patterns that I was going to work on Sunday and yesterday, because today I only worked on my Wine and Whips piece, and the rest of the day I have a feeling that even if I want to stitch at the end of the day, I can always come up here and pull something if I decide to, but I have a feeling I'm not going to want to stitch by the time I'm done getting everything ready to go for tomorrow. And plus I didn't sleep super well last night, so I may be crashing really early anyway. But the two patterns I worked on this week, the first one was the Skater's Village Tree Skirt. Funny story. So, you know, I've been working on this for Wine and Whips up until this, like, a week ago. And I worked on it an hour a day. For all of my Wine and Whips and how I do all of these stitch along hour a day things, I set a timer on my phone. I don't bother looking at it unless I need to pause it to go and do something. And I just let it go until the hour's up, right? Sorry, I'm folding this while I'm talking. I kept waiting while I was stitching on this on Sunday evening, because I had a little, I got some good time to stitch on Sunday evening. I kept waiting for the hour alarm to go off. Not that I wanted to stop after an hour. I didn't. I had just trained myself so well with this piece that I kept waiting. Okay, so hour. Oh wait, no, Katie, you can keep stitching. You don't have to stop in an hour. You don't have anything else waiting for you. But I got some good progress on it on Sunday. See, that's a far away. A little bit closer up. I got some more of the stitching done on the pond, the half stitches. I hope you guys can see this because I can't see through the fabric really well. I did some back stitching on the rocks along the bottom and some of the other detail stitching of like the little grass beside the pond. I should, the next time this piece comes up, be able to finish off the boy and the dog in the middle with back stitching and all that and move on. But I'm really happy with the progress that I made. It's starting to come more and more together. So I was excited. And then yesterday I worked on Sleeping Beauty by Joan Elliott, which, if you recall, when I showed this off before, was just a little bit of green stitches, like 10 maybe. Still only green stitches, but it's a much more respectable amount of green stitches. I was just working on that shade of green that's in her skirt and following it along. So, you know, it doesn't look like much of anything yet, but a lot more than just 10 green stitches. So yeah. So those are the two pieces that I worked on for my mini week. I was really happy with how that all worked out, just doing those couple of pieces. So those were those two. On top of those two, plus what I've been working on since last Wednesday and what I worked on already for an hour this morning, was my final Wine and Whips for July, which was the Little Mermaid, because I don't think I showed this the last time when I was showing it off for Wine and Whips. So that's the entire piece. I've really been working on this for 2 weeks now for the Stitch Along in the Disney Dreams Collection group. I worked on it for 3.5 hours the first week and then another 7 hours this week. So really there's been about 10 and a half hours put in on this piece since I started the 2 Stitch Alongs. And I am so happy with this progress. When I started this piece, here, let me fold this a little bit better so it's I can point. I think I learned to do that by now. When I started this piece 2 weeks ago, I really only had a little bit done down here at the bottom. I had a little bit of flounder and a little bit of blue and green, but I have added several hundred stitches in. I even did some back stitching today up here on the rocks where that whole part was done. I'm just really, it looks much more substantial than it did when I started this for the Stitch Alongs. And I'm going to be repeating myself. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Wine and Whips has been wonderful. I've enjoyed it a lot. Working on these pieces, even if they did make me whine for whatever reason, they've been a joy to work on. The 1 hour a day thing seems to be becoming a thing, becoming kind of popular, which, you know, I've seen people in other Flosstube channels talking about it. I've seen it being talked about on Facebook groups, and I think that's fantastic. I mean, even if no one else does it, I know it works for me. And it's, you know, it's been such a success that I'm going to be following that up with, like I've said before, here on out with the rest of my Stitch Alongs that I do with pretty much in general with Stitch Alongs. There may be a few exceptions here and there depending on what kind of Stitch Alongs I sign up for and what gets in. Stitch Mania will be an exception in May. But, you know, it's been such a great success to just work on that piece for an hour for 7 days, and then when I'm done with that hour, I can go work on whatever else. I mean, I do a daily rotation. There's a lot of people out there who do work on what they want when they want, but you know, if you can stitch, it's amazing how much you can get done in an hour. And for me, at least, it doesn't feel like an obligation. It doesn't feel like it's a competition with myself. How much can I get done in an hour? Okay, I've got 30 minutes left. Oh, look at the progress I made with this 30 minutes. Let's see what I can tackle in the next 30 minutes and get some more progress done. It's been a great motivator. I don't think I could do it for everything all the time, because while I like having that hour motivator timer to do the Stitch Along pieces, in the evening when I sit down with whatever piece I'm working on for the day, I like having a more leisurely pace, being able to, you know, take my time, not feel like I have to stop a timer if I have to get up and deal with something. So I like the combination. I like both. I like seeing the progress, but I also like having my daily rotation. I can't say enough about it. It's been really, really great for me. And if you're looking at possible rotation ideas or wanting to finish a whip or something that you just can't seem to get motivated to finish, this has worked really, really well for me. So next, I'm going to hold off on doing the August ABCs until later, because I'm going to kind of explain what that is and show you guys what my patterns are going to be for the entire month of August, kind of like I did with Wine and Whips at the beginning of July, or end of June, beginning of July, and kind of go from there. So what I'm going to do next is talk about my whips for the week plus. I debated back and forth on what I was going to do for these whips, or how I was going to plan this. If I was going to only pick one or two and just alternate back and forth with them, but then because I'm going to be gone over the end of the month and the beginning of the month, you know, and I'm going to be gone for a full week, and I am going to have stitchy time to do stitchy stuff, did I want to, you know, I've got Storytime Sampler, and I've got Zodiac, and I've got August ABCs. So I finally just decided, you know what? Plan it like it's going to be a normal week. Who cares where you're going to be? I'm going to go, one thing I have to do after this video, because I haven't done it because all of my DMC's downstairs, is go and make a bobbin box just of the colors that I may need for this upcoming week, instead of the 5 or 6 that I pull from all the time. I got to pick a couple of Mo's Sale flosses for one of the patterns you'll be seeing here shortly. But I'm just going to plan it like a normal week. And I'm going to have stuff for every day. And we will see how it goes. I fully expect there to be holdovers. If for no other reason than because, you know, when there's a Zodiac Sampler week thrown in there, there's usually at least a holdover or two. But, you know, like I said, there is supposed to be, I should have time, at least in the evenings, if not, because this is what we're actually doing. My husband is competing in his first Ironman triathlon this weekend. So we're making a family vacation of it. We're going up early, spend some time, prepare, have the race day, spend a few days after for recovery, and then come home. And like, especially the race day, I'll have plenty of time to be doing some stitching because he'll be off doing his race, and because of how we've worked it out, triathlons are an all-day thing, and I've got little kids, and they're not going to want to stay outside the entire day of doing stuff, so we're going to see them at parts of it, and be back at the condo that we're staying at for in between, so there'll be plenty of time to do, and then in the evenings and stuff, when we're not sightseeing and whatnot, we'll have time to stitch. So, you know, I should be able to get some of this done. But I figure it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. The last thing I would want to have happen is to be like, I have this time, and I have, you know, I only brought 2 projects, and I don't want to work on either one of them. Or, you know, I didn't bring enough to do. I can get it all in my carry-on bag. It'll be fine. So, all that rambling, I'm going to show you guys what are going to be my 8 whips for the days that I am gone. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'll be back hopefully with you guys on Thursday. So let's get started, shall we? The first one that I'll be working on is the Spirit of Cross Stitch Angel Ornament from Brooks Books. Now this is a really cool, I've got a funny story about this pattern, but this is a really cool pattern. It's a 3D pattern that's done on perforated paper, and you do all of the different parts of it on different pieces of perforated paper, and then there's instructions in the pattern on how to put it all together. And I think this is just really, really cute, and it's a cross-stitch angel, and of course she will go somewhere in my mom cave when she's done, but she's just precious. Now, here's the funny story. I can't show you the pattern, obviously, but I started with the pattern. It's done on 2 different types of perforated paper. It's got silver perforated paper and then brown perforated paper. And here, let me show you what I did when I started this project. And this minder may not stay on there. This is the little guy, which you can see down here in the bottom. It's the little puppy dog, beads and all done, because he was a really quick little stitch, right? And this is the minder that I was bringing along. It's the little frog minder from Gina, but I may have to put that on the pattern rather than on the paper so it doesn't bend the paper, but I'm rambling. I was working on this, and the way that the pattern is done, or the pattern is shown on the pattern, is up and down like this, right? But for some reason, I turned it. Because the characters on the paper aren't up and down like this. They are side to side so they can fit all on the perforated paper, right? Okay, let's see if all of the X's go in the same direction. So you can see on that. But I don't know if you can see really well on this. The top X, or the top strand on all of these X's, goes from bottom left to upper right. Normally, my top X's go bottom right to upper left. I stitched this sideways. So it all looks right when you do it sideways. I don't know if you can see all that clearly enough. And then when I turned it, I realized all the X's were in the same direction, but in the wrong direction for what I normally do. Oops, my error, not the pattern's error. I don't know what I was thinking that day, but that means that for the rest of this pattern, I'm gonna have to stitch it like this and do it so that I can make sure all the X's stay the same way as the little puppy dogs already are. That's just me being crazy. But anyway, I think it's really cute. I think it's really cute, and I'm looking forward to it. The puppy stitched up quick. I've got the other pieces of perforated paper cut and put into my bag. So this page will have the 2 wings on it, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see. The next one is St. Peter's from John Clayton International for Heritage Stitchcraft. And I've mentioned before, even earlier in this video, we spent the semester in Rome in college. St. Peter's is also religiously significant for me as a Catholic. But it is so beautiful, so beautiful. I mean, it amazes me that human beings had the ability to make this building and the artwork in it, between the sculptures and the paintings and the marble, and I mean, it's stunning. And that's before you even get into like the Sistine Chapel and all of that stuff. It's beautiful, and you can spend hours there with no religious, involvement at all. You can spend hours there and not see all of the detail and see everything. I mean, because it's amazing. And I just loved all of the time. And I went to St. Peter's many, many times, because when we were in Rome for school, the post office that was the most reliable for us to mail things home to was in the Vatican, or Vatican City, which is technically, St. Peter's is actually technically not a part of Italy. It's part of a separate country called Vatican City. But we would go there because that was a time before constant use of cell phone texting and email and all that stuff. But anyway, here's where I am on St. Peter's so far. And the funny thing is, I have some photographs of almost essentially this angle that I took, because this right here is the Bridge of Angels, and these are the buildings leading up to St. Peter's in the background. And on one side of this would be Castel San Angelo. Anyway, but that's where I am so far. It's a lot of soothing neutral colors. And then the minder, of course, since it's Rome, I had to do a Colosseum minder from Minding My Minders on Facebook. Need to get a few more of those. And this is being done on just a 28 count white even weave, because it is full coverage by the time that portion is done. So, and I'll be framing it to just be right up to the edge. So there's that one. The next pattern that I have, I can't show you the pattern. I've got a few of those this week, and I apologize in advance. But that's because they are some of my electronic patterns that I have saved. I will do my best, no promises, but I will do my best to go back after I upload this video to put links in for where you can find these patterns to look at if you want. But this one is the Stardust Fairy by Joan Elliott, which is a freebie pattern on the DMC website. I am doing this one, let's see, pull it up here. Here we go. Got a little bit of her arm done, a little bit of her skirt done. But this is being done on 32 Jobelin in Bewitched from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. The purple and green, I think, is another good spacey one. And then the minder is a fairy minder from Gina's Unique Needle Minders. Just a little cameo, which is really pretty. Then that brings us, if I stitch every day, normally, that will bring us to the Storytime sampler from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Don't know yet what the pattern is going to be for this month, of course, but I am caught up and I want to stay that way. I'm not usually anal retentive or obsessed about staying on top of things, but I really want to stay on top of Storytime Sampler and the Zodiac Sampler so I can have them finished at the end of the year on time. So that was part of the deciding factor, bringing all of these things with me. But here is where it stands at this point. Storytime Sampler is up to date. Only changes I've made to it are just the colors because I'm using flosses from Mo's sale, but otherwise the patterns are still the same. And then my Alice needle minder waiting in there in the next frame. That's from Minding My Minders. So this one again is being done on 28 Jobelin in Melody from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So my Alice needle minder will be replaced by whatever the next frame is. And we'll see. There's only one more of the 5 remaining frames that we know is what the pattern's going to be, and that's Little Women, because it was told that we were going to have Little Women when the pattern first was released. I don't know if that'll be this month. It was that one, Lady of Shalott, and Sherlock Holmes, and I think Alice in Wonderland were the 4 of the 12 that we were told what they were going to be when the pattern was originally released. So who knows what the other ones are going to be. We'll wait and see. And then, of course, also the Zodiac Sampler from Walking Through the Stars Zodiac Sampler, to give the full correct name, from Cloud's Factory, is the other annual sampler. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm a Gemini. My son is a Taurus. My daughter is a Gemini. My husband is in November, so I think he's a Sagittarius. But I don't really know all of the order. So I should know what comes next after Cancer, but I don't. But this is where we are at this point. I am up to date on it. And this is being done again on 32 Belfast in Black Magic from Under the Sea Fabrics with flosses and silks from Mo's sale. So it'll be this next little bit down here. Still love that Cancer crab. He's just so cute. And then again, the minder is Gemini from Minding My Minders, since I am a Gemini. So we'll see how the next piece comes out. Like I said, I should know what comes next in the Zodiac. I just don't. Much as I think the Zodiac is cool, I don't know as much about it as I should. So then the next one I've got is not the pattern that I'm working on for ABC or August ABCs and Stitch Me. It fits rather appropriately. It's the Stitching ABCs from Design Works. This is just such a cool little kit. I mean, it's got A to Z, all the different things related to stitching, embroidery, all that stuff, quilting. It's just really cool. And I'm enjoying working on this. This is not an August ABC focus piece, but it works still for the theme. This is where I am, and this is a kit, so it's just on the 8 that came with the kit. This is where I am at this point, which is in the center square, because I start in the center, usually. So, not a huge amount done on it, but a start. And this winder is a hook from the TV show Once Upon a Time, from Minding My Minders. He's one of my favorite characters on that show, after Regina. He's probably my favorite male character on the show. Plus he's not bad on the eyes. But anyway. Then I have another pattern that I can't show you the pattern of because it's another electronic pattern. But it's the Sugar is Sweet sampler from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I am doing this one. This is one where I am totally changing the colors. And this is the pattern that I need to do a little bit of looking at the pattern and pulling some flosses from Most Sale to bring with me because I only have picked one so far. I'm changing all of the colors on this. But it's okay. It's fun. But here's where I am at this point on the Sugar is Sweet sampler. I am doing this on 28 Jobelin and Highland Heather from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a really pretty purple. And I've only gotten these letters done so far. And I believe that color is Gelato. Could be wrong. I think that's what it is. From Mo's Sale for the alphabet so far. And I'll finish the alphabet in that pretty variegated floss. And then I'll see if I can pick a couple other colors depending on how much time I get on stitching this that day. Just in case. But the minder is a Harry Potter minder from Delicious Threads. Nice little cloth cotton minder. Because ironically, I didn't have anything candy related in my minders. Oh well. And then the last of the patterns I'm bringing with me out of town, well, almost last of the normal daily rotation patterns, is the Sweet Pea Fairy from Joan Elliott. I love her. She is so pretty. Hippy dippy, but so cool. And I am doing, here's where I am on her at this point. Sorry, it's big. This is where I am on her at this point. She's being done on 28 Jobelin and Fairy Dance from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Her skin is all 1/1. So I'm kind of excited to be working on something other than skin this next time it comes up. And then I'm doing the pinup Tinkerbell from Gina's Unique Needle Minders for this one. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about getting a break from 1/1 skin. Because I think the last 3 or 4 times I worked on this was 1/1. I love the effect of 1/1. I will always do 1/1 skin for my Joan Elliott's and my Mirabilias. I don't feel the same compulsion with other patterns, at least at this point. Maybe if I ever do lavender and lace, because I've got a couple of those in my stash too, shockingly. Maybe I'll do some then, but for those, for whatever reason, I think it's just because I've seen it so often done by other people that I just have to, I have to do it. It's just, it looks right to me that way. God, my hair. Huh. I swear I brushed it and washed it and everything. Anyway, no big deal. So, those are my daily rotation pieces that I am going to be bringing with me on my trip. We'll see how much actually gets done, and we'll see what gets held over next time I come back to report to you guys. So the next thing on my list is August ABCs. In Stitch Mania, for the rest of 2015 anyway, we have done a different theme for every month. No one's obligated to join. We're really laid back. It's, you know, a theme for the most part. October is the exception with Raven Queen of being a specific pattern, but it's a general theme for the month. Start at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month, work on whips, work on new pieces, report whenever you want to. There's no set time limit. We just like kind of, you know, giving reason to motivate and focus on certain pieces. So August, because August is when we start, you know, summer starts winding down and we start getting kids getting ready to go back to school. We figured ABC's school alphabet. So the theme is for, in August, is work on any piece that has letters or words in it. So I have a lot of them. I didn't realize how many I really had until I was going through my list, and it's like, okay, which ones do I want to do? Oh, I can do that. Wait, I have a whole lot more than 4. because I'm doing the same thing with August ABCs that I did with Wine and Whips. I'm taking 4 patterns. I am going August 1st through 7th, then 8 through 14, then 15 through 21, then 22 through 28, and working on those 4 pieces for an hour a day and seeing where far I can get. So the one that I'm going to bring with me, I'm going to show you guys the 4 that I'm picking, that I've picked out, and I'll show you them again as they come up each time, but I thought I'd show you all 4 that I plan on doing this month. The one that is coming with me on my trip for the start of August ABCs is All Things Noah from Dimensions. I don't think I've shown this beyond just the initial whip introduction yet, because it's one of the first patterns on my rotation, and I kind of started midway through my rotation. This piece I started in college before I got engaged. I don't remember why. I don't know if it was just I thought it was a cute pattern, so I got and started it. I don't remember if I intended it to be a gift. I really don't remember why. I had forgotten completely about this pattern because after I got engaged in 2001, we got married in June of 2002. I wanted a long engagement because we were in college, and anyway, I focused intently on working on cross-stitch gifts for my bridesmaids and my mother and my maid of honor, or my mother-in-law, for the wedding. And this piece just got put away with the intention of, oh, when I'm done, I'll get back to it. Completely forgot about it. Completely forgot it even existed. We got married. Okay, we were in an apartment in college, my own apartment in college, and he lived in another apartment. So starting apartment where this piece got started. Got married, moved to our first apartment. Decided that we wanted a house, so moved to a house. Then we moved again to this house. So since I started this piece, I've lived in 4 places. I only found this piece again when I moved into this house. I don't know where it's been all this time. I don't know what I did with it. It was in a box that had other stuff in it that I had seen regularly since I had moved. It wasn't just like it was in a box of completely forgotten stuff, but I found it. And I started working on it because it was well, we're halfway done. But here's where we stand at this point. All I have left to do is finish this border, goes up to there and the one down here, and to do this top little part of stars. But it fits August ABCs because there's All Things Noah on the bottom. I don't think there's 7 hours of work left in this piece. I really, really don't. Because the border, see, it should part of the border, it goes really quickly. It's a repeating pattern. Up here, it's not even that big of a piece. I've got 2 of the star outlines already done. There's a lot of half stitches for the back. I don't think there's 7 hours. I don't think there's 7 hours of work left in this piece. I think I could finish this one for August ABCs. So, we'll see. The minder I'm using is a Gryffindor lion from Delicious Threads, because look, there's a lion down here too. This is another one of those pieces where when I started working on it again, I had to laugh about how far I have come in my stitching, because the directions of threads, they're all the right direction as far as all being in the same direction, but they're all in a different direction than the way I do it now. This didn't come with like a thread organizer, and now if something doesn't come with a thread organizer, I organize it myself, and I just get some thread organizers and put them together. But it was all a jumbled mess of thread. But if I can finish this during August ABCs, I will be thrilled. So that one is coming with me to, on our trip. Sorry, I'm gonna mess with my hair for a minute. Sorry. But it's driving me crazy. And I don't edit videos. Oh well. But I didn't want to lose the time that I was going to be out of town after the 1st. I'm not going to start working on that until the 1st. And I'll do the hour a day thing again, but we'll see. I don't think there's 7 hours of work left on that project. We'll see. The second piece that I am doing is a piece for my son, and I can't show you this pattern because it's an electronic pattern. But this is the Doctor Who, and I'm not going to go into the details about the fabrics and all the stuff. I'll do that when I actually am focusing on the piece for that week. But this is the Doctor Who clock from Cloud's Factory. This is where I've gotten to at this point. And the words on this, since you can't see a pattern, the TARDIS goes in the middle with the Gallifreyan text around it. And then the 12 doctors, not counting the War Doctor, will go around. But it'll say wibbly wobbly, timey wimey in actual words. But this is for my son, and so I thought I'd put in some dedicated time to it. And I'm doing this all with silks from Mo's Sale, and then the little TARDIS needle minder I got from Minding My Minders. Of course, you have to have a TARDIS needle minder when you're working on a Doctor Who project. You just gotta. And I have other Doctor Who minders too, but it's the TARDIS, little TARDIS with the picture. So that'll be the second August ABC piece I will do. Then, since I'm doing one for my son, it makes sense that I focus on one for my daughter, which will be the Letters from Nora. You guys have seen this one before. The letter T and Letters from Nora. This will be my third week of August ABCs, and I'll show you where I am on it at this point. This is where we stopped the last time I worked on this in my normal rotation. I think 7 hours of dedicated time to this project could give us a lot of progress. I don't know if it'll finish, but I think it can give it a lot of progress, which would be good. And since I'm doing one for my son, and I'm doing one for my daughter, I decided the last week was going to be focused solely on a piece for me and my husband. Another very old pattern of mine that I've started and stopped and started and stopped many, many times. But I've mentioned this one before. This is the wedding sampler that was designed for us by Carolyn Manning. Yes, it's got our names on it. I'm not overly concerned. But this is the pattern that she designed for us. And we got married in 2002. It's 2015. I should get this done. But then here is what I've done so far. I was doing the border, the rose border first, and then we'll go back and do the letters, the words. And I've got my little crown needle minder from Gina. So I figure I may not get to the words when this piece comes up. Sorry. I may not get to the words when this piece comes up, but I think a good 7 dedicated hours to it will be a good progress to get to that one. Plus, this one will come up before it comes up as a, I want to say Wine and Whips. Before it comes up as August ABCs, it will come up in the rotation again, I think. So there'll even be a little bit more progress before I start it for August ABCs. So my intention, like I have done with Wine and Whips, the 1st of July was on a Wednesday. So I'd come to you guys every Wednesday, Tuesday today, but today's an exception, to show the progress on my Wine and Whip for that week and to introduce you to the next Wine and Whip. I want to do the same sort of concept for August ABCs. August 1st is on Saturday. So yes, it means you may get 2 videos in a weekend from me. But my intention is to do a Saturday report on the Wine and Whip, or not, told you, not Wine and Whip, Katie, August ABCs. I imagine I'll do that 2 more times before I click it again. But my intention is to go back on Saturdays to give you the reports of the August ABCs, and show you guys where I'm starting for next week, because I wanted to show you guys before I started, and if I waited until Sunday for my weekly update, you'll already lose an hour of the time that I'm going to work on it. So that is my goal in general for reporting for August ABCs. So coming up, this is going to be my last video until I'm back in town. My intention is I come back in town on Wednesday. I intend to do a video Thursday to show if the mail comes at the time that I've done do the video, if there's any haul, give my updates of how I did on my whips for the week, tell you guys what I'm going to work on for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so another mini whips for the week, and kind of get you caught up. Then on Saturday, I would do my first official report on August ABCs. So you won't see August ABCs again, that Noah's sampler, unless I finish it. You won't see it again until a week from Saturday. So for a little while. And then on Sunday, go back to my normal, start my normal rotation again of my weekly reports or my weekly videos. So I've got a couple tags I know I need to do. I know I said I was going to do Coffee Stitcher's tag. It's just not happening today. I'm sorry, Garrett. I still love you anyway, even if I'm more texting than you are. I'll do that one of the videos after I get back. And any other tags that I've missed, and I'm sure I've missed others because it seems that there are quite a few people who I'm subscribed to who are discovering tags that they missed. So I'm like, oh, there's that tag. Let me go do that tag. So maybe I'll do another Tagapalooza video, kind of like the Crafty Curator and some of the others that are doing. So we'll see. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful stitchy week plus until I see you again. I will miss all of you guys. I'll still be watching your videos. I'll still be doing my best to respond to comments as I can. I'll still be posting on Stitch Mania, my updates as I can. So I won't be completely gone, but I will miss you guys. It's always fun to come and sit and spend some time talking with you guys in Flosstube. I love the Flosstube community. It is just awesome. You all are fantastic. You know, keep up the good work. So anyway, I'll see you guys when I'm back. Bye.